This is lesson 1-6A. We're going to multiply two complex numbers. Before we do that, I need to give you a little bit of background. First off, the square root of -1 is defined to be I, the imaginary unit. The square root of any negative number is not real, so they came up with a new unit to denote that. I squared can be written as the square root of -1 times the square root of -1, which is simply -1. And the way that I remember that is, in general, the square root of smiley face times the square root of smiley face is simply smiley face. It could be a number, it could be a letter. That's the main concept. Okay, and finally, we're going to talk about a complex number. A complex number has the form a plus bi, where this is the real part, and this is the imaginary part. So notice we put the real part first, followed by the imaginary part. Okay, so that's the background. Let's go ahead and do some algebra. Our example will be to multiply 2 minus 3i times 4 plus 5i. All we're going to do is FOIL it. So FOIL, first times first, 2 times 4 is 8. Outer times outer, 10i. Inner times inner, minus 12i. Last times last, this is where we have to be careful, minus 15i squared. Okay, I've got some like terms here. 10i minus 12i is simply minus 2i. So we'll combine those. And remember, I squared was -1. So I'm going to replace I squared with -1. Okay, and then a -15 times a -1 is a positive 15. I'm just showing small steps so you can follow along. And then finally, I've got some more like terms, 8 and 15, and that is going to be 23. So my final answer is 23 minus 2i. Again, this is how we multiply two complex numbers.